after another.
So the two managers leading out to the teams to a tremendous roar. The Rangers fans there on the Mount Florida terracing, and the Aberdeen fans on the Jockstein terracing salute their teams. Oh, it's a fine afternoon here at Hampden Park. The sun shining through. Perfect conditions for football. McLeish there, the Aberdeen captain, who's been through all of this so much before, of course. And Walter Smith, the Rangers manager, as I said, he won the Scottish Cup and the Premier Championship last season, and how dearly he would like to add the Skull League Cup. So the Rangers players break away towards their fans, and the Aberdeen team do likewise. So absolute bedlam now, especially from the Rangers fans under the cover there at the Mount Florida end. Well, it's another big day in the career of Richard Gough. The Ibrox skipper is looking for his 4th winners' medal in this tournament, having twice triumphed over the Dons, and he lifted the trophy as captain against Celtic 2 years ago, having scored the winning goal. And there's McLeish, the Aberdeen captain. And today he plays in his 7th League Cup final. He'll be hoping to improve on a record which has brought him just 2 winners' medals and 4 as runner-up. This has been an important stage for him over the years. So the large crowd here, capacity crowd, all-ticket crowd of some 46,000 settling down. The referee this afternoon, Mr. Douglas Hope from Erskine, who celebrates his 48th birthday. Let's hope he has a good match. He of course handled the Scottish Cup final between Rangers and Airdrie here last May. So it will be Aberdeen to kick off. The referee just checking his watch one more time. And the 47th League Cup final gets underway. Now, this is the 31st time that the clubs have met in the tournament. Rangers winning 17 to Aberdeen's 10. There have been 3 draws. And in fact, the 5th time in 6 seasons they've met in the competition. And it's the 4th final in that same period. So they're well known to one another. But remarkable changes for Rangers from the 1989 final between the clubs. Walter Smith has had to make vast changes. The likes of Woods, Monroe, Wilkins, Butcher, Johnson, Walters, all gone, and Ian McCall. It just gives you an indication of the change at Aberdeen, though. Still hanging on to a number of their players from that occasion. So there's John Brown getting the touch. And McLeish with the early pass back, which Snelders, of course, will have to boot clear. And almost straight to Ali McCoist. Well, the nerve showing already. There's Robertson, the former Aberdeen player, playing it through to Durrant. Now it's McCoist. Durrant again. Flipping it through, looking for Ian Ferguson. Paatelainen was back there, and he's conceded the free kick. He pleads his case there, but the referee was right up with the play, and this is a dangerous moment here for Aberdeen.
Yeah, I think Paatelainen feels he's a little hard done by there, knocking in Ferguson over, and we've got a very dangerous situation here. You know, only 23, 24 yards from goal.
So Theo Snelders getting things organised there. An early test for the Aberdeen keeper. You see a number of Rangers players just out of shot, looking over the ball. Ian Ferguson's there, who can fairly wallop them. But it's Ali McCoist coming in. Well, he's got plenty of power into it, and the second attempt going high and wide. Ali McCoist with 25 goals to his name this season. Well, he's obviously unhappy about something there.
Yeah, it was a good solid strike here by Ali McCoist, but good defending by Aberdeen. The Wolves stood their ground, brave, stood up to the shot, and they get cleared eventually.
Richard Gough climbing high for Rangers. It's returned there by Jim Bett. This is Ian Jess, being shadowed by his former teammate David Robertson. Cut out by John Brown. And you can just see traces of nerves in the early exchanges. Here comes David Winnie now for Aberdeen. McCall just in play. This is Jess again. Nice little turn by Jess. It's blocked by Brown. It breaks now to Roy Aitken. McCall, who got a little deflection onto that ball. It's picked up now by Ian Ferguson. Switched to Ian Durrant, who such a fine game last Wednesday against Leeds United. He'll be hoping to emulate that this afternoon. David Robertson. So it's Gary Smith deep in his own half. Stephen Wright. Long one there for Jess to chase, but Camley headed back by Richard Gough.
Big Roy Aitken, I mean, who's been given a nice warm reception from the Rangers fans here today. I think you'll find that he'll just sit on the right-hand side of midfield today to try and check Durrant and make sure Robertson doesn't make those runs forward, which he's so good at.
But, headed clearance there by McLeish climbing above Hateley, and of course that'll be a feature of this afternoon's battles as well. So the throw in to the Dons, midway inside their own half. It's Stephen Wright, just 22 years of age, to take it. Shearer down the line for Jess, but John Brown had plenty of time there. McPherson getting a little touch on Trevor Stephen, but picked up now by Grant. The offside flag goes up against Aberdeen. Paatelainen spraying forward. Finnish international striker. This is John Brown. Long one there for Hateley, and Robertson's in there as well, using his tremendous pace. Well, what a chance there for Rangers, but really the Aberdeen defence should have shut him down. And that was excellent play by Gary Smith, who cleared the initial danger. He remained very calm indeed. David Robertson galloping forward there and really catching out the Aberdeen defence. There seemed to be no trouble at all for them. So Aberdeen can thank the cool head of 21-year-old Gary Smith. So just over 5 minutes gone here at Hampden Park. And still no scoring. Paatelainen failing to keep that one in play. Well, here's the incident as Robertson come rushing through.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, it's the experienced players that have let Aberdeen down here. Snelders and McLeish getting in something of a tangle there, and young Gary Smith eventually clears the danger. That was a little bit of a let-off for them. No real danger when Robertson broke forward.
So here come Rangers again, and again it's David Robertson. This is Ian Durrant. Trevor Stephen has drifted into the middle. Gary Smith just letting the ball run through to his goalkeeper. Well, it's his first cup final, and from a defensive point of view he did extremely well there just a few moments ago. Here he is again. Driving it forward. Looking for Shearer, but the ball drifting out of play for the throw-in to Rangers. And you can see the sunshine streaming down in that area of the pitch, and the Goram was wearing a cap to keep the sunlight out of his eyes. That's Hateley getting the touch for Rangers to Trevor Stephen. Nice switch of play there to Ian Durrant. Ian Ferguson running through there, but Robertson it is in support. Well, David Robertson striking that one with his left foot. Rangers' only ever-present player this season.
It was a nice little build-up that by Rangers. It was a delightful cross-field pass to Trevor Stephen, and David Robertson eventually gets his shot in on target, but not enough power to trouble Theo Snelders.
Richard Gough clearing it. It's just beyond Bett. It's a turn by Stephen Wright. This is Paatelainen, and he's fouled by David McPherson. Well, I remember in the league game at Ibrox, Paatelainen was fouled by McPherson. It led to Roy Aitken scoring the opening goal, although Rangers were to go on and win that game by 3 goals to 1. I wonder if that's a bit of an omen. Alex McLeish moving forward there, being shadowed by Mark Hateley. So it's left to Jim Bett, and it's Hateley on his own 6-yard line, clearing the initial danger, but only as far as David Winnie. He's closed down by McCall, and Aberdeen have the throw just in a line with the Rangers penalty area. Oh, McLeish still up there. It's headed away though by Gough, turned by Grant, and Trevor Stephen it is who concedes the throw-in. Well, Aberdeen keeping the ball deep inside Rangers territory. Paatelainen is a bit of a long throw specialist. McLeish is still lurking in there in the 6-yard area. Aimed in his direction. Headed away though by John Brown. Ian Ferguson got a little touch to McCoist, and he was dumped to the ground by David Winnie.
I think we'll find Aberdeen in this game, or Rangers in particular defensively in this game, trying to close down in the width that Aberdeen get, because there's an obvious aerial threat with Shearer and Paatelainen, and they could cause plenty of problems if Aberdeen get good quality crosses into the box.
So it's Gough's free kick aimed at Hateley. McLeish wins it again though. It's returned by Robertson, and it's a throw to Aberdeen. Well, Rangers scored 16 goals on the way to this final, losing just 3. Aberdeen scored 10 and conceded just the 1. So an impressive defensive record from Aberdeen. And here they come through Paatelainen. Now it's Aitken. Stephen Wright is running in support there, going on a bit of a decoy run. Durrant clips it forward. It's headed away though by John Brown. This is Ian Durrant now for Rangers. To McCoist. Referee letting play go on. Rangers advantage. A high one there from Robertson. Hateley's in there. McCoist putting Wright under pressure. But again, it's Gary Smith keeping calm. John Brown above Ian Jess. Whipped away there by Robertson. Picked up now by McLeish for Aberdeen. Stephen Wright. And John Brown read that situation well for Rangers. McLeish's header. Bett's in there with McCall. Rich to McCoist. This is Ferguson. Stephen to Gough. Good play by Rangers. McPherson finding a little bit of space out there on the right-hand side. Leaves it now to Trevor Stephen. McCall, Stephen again. The ball runs harmlessly behind for the goal kick, but a nice passing move there by Rangers, knocking it about confidently. So just over 10 minutes played here at Hampden Park. Rangers 0, Aberdeen 0. Rangers 17 times winners of the trophy from 23 final appearances. In fact, they've played in 9 of the last 11 finals, winning 7 of them. It is a remarkable record. Aberdeen have won the trophy on 4 occasions. Ian Durrant failing to keep that in play. It's a throw to Aberdeen. Wright is in a hurry to get on with things. This is Stephen Wright aiming the high one at Paatelainen. In comes Ian Jess. Well, Richard Gough did well there, under threat from Duncan Shearer. And now it's Robertson for Rangers to McCall. Robertson again. Good play by Robertson, getting away from Aitken. This is Ian Ferguson to McPherson. Ian Durrant, nice little turn by Durrant. The gap opens up, it's Durrant, but he's blocked by Stephen Wright. And now a chance for Aberdeen to counter-attack. It's Ian Jess. He might want too long in the ball here with Ian Ferguson snapping away at his heels. That's Stephen Wright. Cut out by Gough. This is Brown. To McCall. McCoist closed down by McLeish. And it's a throw-in to Rangers. McCoist closely watched there by the big Aberdeen centre-back. Here comes Ferguson for Rangers, looking for Hateley. It breaks away though to Brian Grant. It's to Paatelainen. Through now for Shearer. And Goram committing himself. Well, Goram has taken the bonnet off. The sun has gone down. A few clouds rolling in above Hampden Park.
Actually, just as well he was on his toes there, Jerry, because Shearer found an awful lot of space in that Ibrox defence there.
Oh, that's good play by McCall. Nice little dummy by Durrant. Ferguson getting the ball at his right foot. Oh, it smacks off the post. Well, Ferguson hitting a tremendous shot there, but it was some delightful play as well. It all began with McCall getting the ball to Durrant, a lovely little dummy there, and then Ferguson with a right foot shot. Snelders had the hope with it at all, and coming back off the post.
Oh, what a tremendous strike it was. I'm just surprised that the post still standing, because he really thundered that one against the post. It's a lovely little build-up again by Rangers. But this Hampden surface is conducive to playing good football, and great condition Hampden Park, and both teams knocking the ball about and playing some lovely stuff.
Durrant's in there again. The referee getting in his way. So that's a good clearance by Stephen Wright. McCall plays it to McCoist, to Durrant. Some lovely close play here by Rangers. What? Oh, it's McCall! Stuart McCall! What a blunder in the Aberdeen defence. 13 minutes gone. Ian Durrant coming through there.
Well, once again, a great surging forward run being Durrant. I think it's David Winnie comes off his foot. Snelders could not handle that because of the pass back low. Sticks his leg out, Winnie comes back. Snelders' chest control lets him down. Calls to Stuart McCall, and no problem for him into the back of the net. And probably a deserved first goal for Rangers, because they've been playing some great stuff in the last 10 minutes.
Well, David Winnie it was who stabbed the ball back towards his own goalkeeper. But some delightful play there by Ian Durrant as well. So Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0. Well, I remember Theo Snelders being involved in the loss of a bad goal a few years ago here against Rangers, down in the other goal mouth. But again, the pass-back rule causing all kinds of problems. Stuart McCall snatching his third goal of the season. He doesn't score many, but that was really an important one.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll be the last one in this game either. It's been a really open attacking game so far, and I'm quite sure Stuart McCall's goal won't be the winner.
So it's Gary Smith. It's a long one to Paatelainen. It's swept away by Gough. Hateley fouled up by Smith. The Rangers have the free kick. And Gary Smith will be disappointed with things in this his first final after that very good early clearance by him. And he could only stand and look on horrified there. Well, that's 15 minutes gone. Rangers leading by 1-0. And Rangers fans in full cry. Rangers had a real test of character the other night. Now Aberdeen have won, but it's Ian Jess getting away from Richard Gough. Will he go it alone here? Oh, terrific stop by Andy Goram. Paatelainen was on the far side. There's Paatelainen again. Oh, a terrific stop there by Andy Goram. He's one of the best shot stoppers in the game.
Yeah, well, initial mistake by Richard Gough, and I think Paatelainen raging with Jess there because he felt he should have squared it across the box and he would have had an empty net, but it was nevertheless a fabulous save from Andy Goram.
Here's Hateley McCoist. That one goes well wide of target. Just a little bit subdued at the moment is Hateley McCoist, but how often have we seen that beaming smile from him this season? He really is well on course to beat the 39 goals he scored last season. 25 already this time around in 20 games. It's quite remarkable. So Richard Gough will want to make up for that slip against Ian Jess. This is Grant playing it through. It's well cut out by John Brown. Trevor Stephen back to Brown, who's galloping out of defence, running into trouble in the shape of McLeish there, but he's here in Ferguson. He's well challenged by Jim Bett. Now it's Durrant switching the play to Winnie. Can Aberdeen respond? Jess is in there again. David Robertson under a bit of pressure. The offside flag had gone up just below the main stand, but the referee allowing play to go on. So it's Ian Durrant breaking forward. This is McCall. Looking for Durrant again, it's headed away by Winnie. That was Bett getting the touch to Brian Grant. Paatelainen against McPherson, and switches it through to Grant again. Well, Aitken's a bit of space out on the right side of the field, that's where it's played. Paatelainen calling for it, but that's too close to the goalkeeper. Well, Aitken had made a bit of space there, but took no real advantage from it. I think he was trying to angle it in towards Paatelainen. You can see he's disappointed there. That's Stephen Wright. Cut out by Robertson.
David Robertson's had a magnificent start to the game, and in actual fact he's probably been Rangers' best attacking player. Already knocked one across an empty goal, had a shot on target and made one or two very good runs forward.
Walter Smith, the Rangers manager, down there on the track side, sharing instructions to his players. They must be well pleased with the start Rangers have made. Well, a bit of a misunderstanding there between Hateley and Durrant. An exchange of views between the two of them, but it's a throw-in to Aberdeen. Just quickly taken. McLeish sending it forward, it's cut out by Gough. This is Durrant to Ferguson. And there's just a wee bitty casual there, but they get it clear. Hateley was trying to get away from McLeish, and the referee awards the free kick to Aberdeen.
Yeah, I think Hateley was just him leaning into Alec McLeish there, making sure Alec McLeish never got a clear header at the ball, and the referee Dougie Hope quite right there, awarding Aberdeen a free kick.
Well, Aitken looks as though he might need a bit of treatment. The referee has gone over to have a look at the player, the Aberdeen trainer coming on. Aitken taking a knock to his thigh. So 20 minutes gone now. Well, last season Rangers won all 3 games at Paatelainen, 2 in the Premier League and 1 in the Scottish Cup, but Aberdeen came to Glasgow and were unbeaten, taking 3 points out of a possible 4 at Ibrox. In fact, Rangers' last victory here in Glasgow over the Dons was in May of last year, when they clinched the championship in the match at Ibrox Stadium. Well, there's Willie Miller there, the Aberdeen manager, with Drew Jarvie, and happily from Aberdeen's point of view, Aitken has recovered. Willie Miller in his first final as a manager, shouting instructions there to his players. Trevor Stephen having to jump over the challenge there, and he wins the free kick from David Winnie. David McPherson over the ball, he's waiting for Richard Gough to pile this, and he floats forward the free kick for Rangers. Headed away by Gary Smith, picked up now by Shearer. Looking for Jess, but Andy Goram reading the situation, goes right out of his box. Not the best of clearances, although it found a teammate. That could have been troublesome. But here come Rangers again. Robertson's breaking in the left. He's closed down now by Wright. And that was the challenge going in from Alec McLeish. Good tackle on Ian Durrant. So the throw in quickly taken.
Yeah, it was a bad pass back to give any midfielder, especially when Alec McLeish is roaring in like that. A terrific tackle at the end of the day.
Well, meanwhile, a free kick has been awarded to Rangers just outside the area. The Aberdeen players are unhappy about it. And the referee is laying down the law here. Certainly several Aberdeen players clustering around the referee when he gave that decision, and Gary Smith left in no doubt. It's another one out of place, and it'll be a yellow card. So this is a really testing moment now for Snelders and his defenders. Ian Durrant it is who's hovering over the ball. He plays it to John Brown. Well, a real chance there for John Brown. You can see the look in his face. He should have done better.
Yeah, found a bit of space there. I think the Aberdeen defence expecting Ian Durrant to try and curl this when he lays it across the edge of the box, and John Brown just scuffs it a bit past the post.
John Brown, who of course was recently called into the Scotland squad for the match against Portugal. Cut out by Gary Smith. Now it's Stephen Wright. Running it forward, looking for Shearer. It's missed by Shearer and Gough there. Aitken was failing to keep that one in play, and he's still, I think, suffering a bit from that thigh knock he took. I just wonder if he'll be able to complete this match. Richardson and Scott Booth are on the bench. This is Shearer for Aberdeen. Challenged there by Ian Ferguson. Now it's Robertson. The high one for Hateley. McLeish is with him. McLeish does well. Followed by Stephen Wright. The ball drifts out for the throw-in. Two Rangers tightening against their own corner flag. Well, there's activity down there on the Aberdeen bench. I said a few moments ago, Aitken might struggle a bit, and you can see there that Lee Richardson is warming up. Well, Aberdeen will have to reorganise. He's more of a left-sided player. So it's McLeish now for Aberdeen to Jim Bett. Of course, Jim Bett, having missed the last 6 matches, we've got to question his match fitness as well. Gary Smith almost running into a bit of trouble, but he gets the ball to Brian Grant. It's Winnie laying it off to Smith. Cut out by Robertson. Trevor Stephen. Ferguson to Durrant. Played through now, looking for Hateley. And Snelders coming right to the edge of the area. Well, Aberdeen have really got to try and assert themselves here. And a loss of another goal, I think, would be just too much for them to pull back. Two Rangers players getting into a tangle there, Stephen and Gough. It's Paatelainen for Aberdeen. And Andy Goram happy to let that one float right across his goal. And out it goes for the throw-in with 25 minutes played. And now we will have the substitution. Aitken limping off. Well, what a disappointing afternoon for the former Celtic player. Off he goes. He'll be bitterly disappointed. And on comes Lee Richardson, who cost £150,000 from Blackburn Rovers. So a bit of reorganisation going on. And an early touch for the substitute. He leaves it now to Jim Bett. This is David Winnie. Brian Grant has switched to the right side of midfield. He's just in front of McLeish. McLeish stepping inside Durrant, putting it through, looking for Paatelainen, but easily handled by Andy Goram. So Richardson sitting just inside Jim Bett, making the challenge there on Ferguson. This is David Robertson for Rangers. Through to Durrant. Hateley. Well, they're all over the place again. It's McCoist. Oh, and that's a brilliant stop by Theo Snelders at full stretch. Some delightful play initially by Ian Durrant.
Yeah, if the Aberdeen midfield don't get a grip of Ian Durrant, they're going to be in serious trouble here, because he's beginning to run the shows. A little bit of football here. Falls to McCoist, strikes well, and a good save with Theo Snelders. But Ian Durrant's beginning to run things in the middle of the park, and everyone knows what a good player he is.
Meanwhile, Aberdeen have won the throw-in. And it's Ian Jess. Good ball into the middle. And well intercepted by Richard Gough, who's taken a knock as he collided with Shearer. Great defending by the Rangers captain. It's a delightful ball played into the middle for Shearer. Meanwhile, Richard Gough receiving some treatment, but that's the type of ball that Aberdeen must get into the box, Gordon.
Yeah, it was a terrific cross game, Jess, particularly when you've got players like Shearer and Paatelainen. As we mentioned earlier, they're two players that have very good aerial ability, but at the end of the day, it was terrific defending by Richard Gough, and he got a knock in the face for his troubles. But thankfully for Rangers, he's back up and okay again. Great defending there by Richard Gough. Took a bang in the nose, but he's back up again.
So the match restarts with the corner kick, an upward one for the goalkeeper, and well taken again by Andy Goram. Well, he's done well for Rangers in this first half. He's got 10 shutouts in 18 games this season, and a goalkeeper of the highest quality. That's McLeish getting in the header. And Jess battling away again there. Jess has certainly worked very hard for Aberdeen in this first half, but caught napping there by Ian Ferguson. Ian Ferguson won a few balls in that type of situation. He's closing people down quickly, pouncing at every opportunity. But now Aberdeen have the throw-in. Stephen Wright to take it. He was born in Bellshill, but Ramsey's living now in the colours of Aberdeen. Ian Jess solidly challenged. Well, would you believe it, the ball has come right into the commentary box. I tell you, that takes a bit of doing. I think Gordon was tempted to go for that one.
I'm just glad you never went for it, Jerry. They never got it back.
So the match to restart with the throw-in. So it's David Winnie for Aberdeen. Stephen Wright crossing it in. Jim Bett's on the far side. It's in the downward header, but there's no one there to take advantage. Jim Bett, of course, has won medals here with both Rangers and Aberdeen. Laid off by Shearer, picked up by Bett. Paatelainen giving chase, and a good challenge by David McPherson. So that's half an hour gone. Rangers are leading by 1-0. Stuart McCall after 13 minutes. After a mistake in the Aberdeen defence, David Winnie had played the ball back to his goalkeeper, who couldn't handle it, and McCall pounced. Here come Aberdeen, but it's Hateley doing some stout defending. Paatelainen gets another chance at it. Hateley's in there again. Overhead kick from Grant. McLeish battling for it. In comes Jess. And again, it's Andy Goram to Rangers' rescue. And it's a goal kick, says the referee. And again, Andy Goram reacting well. A very brave goalkeeper indeed.
Yeah, the side's a little bit more encouraging for Aberdeen. They're beginning to put the Rangers under a little bit of pressure there at the back. And just a near thing again for them.
Willie Miller, the Aberdeen manager. Last time Aberdeen won the cup here 3 years ago, he was the captain, but more responsibility on his shoulders now. And this is Ali McCoist for Rangers. Finding Trevor Stephen. Stephen taking on Winnie. And the ball goes behind for the goal kick. Trevor Stephen has had to battle against injury since coming back from Marseille. He went on the outside of the defender there, but just couldn't get any angle on the ball, and it drifted behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, I think since the departure of David Robertson from Aberdeen to Rangers, that's been something of a problem position for Aberdeen, but David Winnie seems to have settled into that role lately and made the position his own, and he certainly had a good first half here today.
Stephen Wright sending it forward to Ian Jess. Jim Bett racing through the middle. So too is Shearer. Paatelainen's lurking there as well. Still Jess getting away from Richard Gough. Shearer's in there, so too is Bett. But some stout defending by McCall. It's still not cleared up. Here's Richardson. In comes Winnie. And the ball's out of play for the throw to Aberdeen. Well, Aberdeen lifting the pace of the game again. And they really will have the time running away from them in this first half, as they trail by 1-0. So again, it's Paatelainen. You see the determination all over his face. The high one into the middle. It's headed away by Gough. Picked up now by Bett. This is Richardson. Switching it to Winnie. McLeish is pushing well forward here, trying to get his team going, but Hateley back with him there, watching him all the way. Again, Aberdeen have the throw in, but McLeish, just like Richard Gough did against Leeds last week, trying to lift his team, pushing forward all the time. Another long throw from Paatelainen. A bit of nudging and pushing going on there. The Richardson shot that was blocked. It's headed on by Grant, looking for Bett. This is David Robertson now. And the ball goes out for the throw to Aberdeen. So the Dons keeping on the pressure here. Played through to Shearer. And the ball goes over for the corner kick. Well, Aberdeen now must really feel they have a chance of an equaliser. They're making more and more of an impression in this game. And it's David Winnie who's switched over to the right to take it. McLeish again inside the box. Paatelainen's in there as well. Again, it's Hateley. And the shot going in from the substitute, Richardson. Still looking for his first goal for Aberdeen, and this afternoon would be a good time to do it.
Yeah, David Winnie tries to dink this one into the near post. Rangers clear it out to Richardson, but unlike Gary McAllister midweek, that one went sailing over the bar, not into the top corner of the net.
Well, for Smith, despite the fact his team are in the lead, he's looking rather agitated. McPherson flipping it forward, looking for McCoist. Swept away by Bett, cut out by John Brown. One of the most effective clearances there by John Brown, but again he's had a good solid game for Rangers in the half of the defence this afternoon. Nice little back heel there from Bett to Richardson. Cut out by Trevor Stephen. And that's a very late challenge, and that will certainly be a word of warning for the Aberdeen player. Went very late there, and the referee in fact has decided it is a yellow card offence.
Yeah, I think this warranted more than a word of warning for Gough. No question about it, a booking here, a very rash challenge indeed by Lee Richardson. Unfortunate in the first instance, he'll try to slide the ball in through Trevor Stevens. Trevor Stevens blocked it, and a rush of blood to Richardson's head, and he went in and just, well, set Trevor Stevens sprawling.
Well, referee Douglas Hope is one of the more patient referees, but he's no alternative there really. So it's McLeish for Aberdeen. Headed on by Shearer, cut out by Brown. He plays it to Robertson. Good clearance there, which was cut out by Grant. Stephen Wright running into trouble. And the Rangers have got a bit of space on here. It's Trevor Stephen. Good play by Stephen. Durrant. And pursued all the way by Grant. Paatelainen deep in his own half of the field, flipping it forward to Jess. Richard Gough sticking to the task, and well, Jess will perhaps be booked here for dissent. The referee's calling him over. He might get away with a word of warning, but referees have been told that any form of dissent and a yellow card must be shown.
It'd be a great shame here. I think he's just going to get off with a warning from Gough, because Jess has had a splendid first half and has been certainly Aberdeen's most dangerous attacker.
So a word of warning there from the referee. Gough sending it forward. It's all the way through to Hateley. And Rangers win the corner kick. Well, again, the holes appearing in the Aberdeen defence, and Hateley running onto that ball very easily indeed. With no real support in the middle, and they'd be quite pleased to take the corner kick. Richard Gough and David McPherson moving forward to the edge of the area. It's played short though to Trevor Stephen. Headed away by Smith. It's McCall. Well, a complete miscue. The ball's still in play though. Headed down by Trevor Stephen. Kept in play by Ian Durrant. This is Ian Ferguson, stepping away from Richardson, taking on Winnie. Nice little backheel flick there to Trevor Stephen. And McPherson's header drifting behind for the goal kick.
A nice little bit of football once again by Rangers. Trevor Stephen looks up, sees David McPherson in the middle, but David McPherson just gets under the ball a little bit and bounces off the top of his head.
So just over 7 minutes left till the interval, and Rangers leading by a goal to nil. McCall in there battling for it. Picked up now by Stephen Wright for Aberdeen. Out by Durrant. What a power of work he's got through this afternoon. Deep inside his own half now. Flipping it forward there to Trevor Stephen, taking the return. He really is orchestrating things well. So he's taken out of the play, but the referee allowing it to go on. Allowing the advantage to Rangers, and it comes off. McCall did well there. This is Hateley. Ferguson, Durrant's back in his feet. Played across there to McPherson. He leaves it now to Durrant. Ferguson. Everyone inside the Aberdeen half except Goram. As Robertson tries to find the opening, and Duncan Shearer it was who conceded the corner kick. Well, again, anxious moments for Theo Snelders and his defenders. Richard Gough moving forward there to into the area. As Ian Durrant comes across to take this corner. Gough taking up station at the near post. McPherson's in there as well, along with Hateley. And it's Victor Paatelainen who sweeps it clear. It's left to David McPherson. Nice little turn there by Trevor Stephen. Hateley's in there, so it is McCoist. Ian Durrant. Oh well, that was a real chance, and Ian Durrant knows it. He really should have buried that one.
Yeah, another good cross from Trevor Stephen here, wide and right. Just a little flick, I think, by Gary Smith, falls to Ian Durrant. He really controls this really well, goes right over the ball, but unfortunately for Ian Durrant, just slipped past the post.
Well, Ian Durrant has 4 goals this season, 1 in the Skull Cup competition. Well, that really could have put Aberdeen in all kinds of trouble. So 40 minutes played, Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0. Here comes David Robertson again, taking on McLeish. The ball comes off the big centre back and goes behind for the corner to Rangers. And again a huge roar coming from the covered end of Hampden. Again it will be Ian Durrant to take the corner. This time it's a short one to McCall. Tees it up for Ian Ferguson. It was blocked there by Jim Bett. Chance now for Aberdeen to counter-attack. Grant plays it through to Bett. Shearer's away to his left. Jess is breaking through the middle. Aberdeen pouring players forward here, but Shearer leaves it now to Richardson. And the referee again going into a bit of trouble there. The game being played at a ferocious pace. It's McPherson trying to play it through to McCoist, but McCoist would have been in an offside position. He tried to run onside there, but the whole thing broke down. Gary Smith playing it to Stephen Wright. Long one for Shearer to chase. This is Ryan Grant. Paatelainen. And a disappointing end to the move. Well, the former Dundee United man has done well for Aberdeen this season with 7 goals so far, 3 of them in this competition. And certainly worth the £400,000 that Willie Miller paid for him, but not one of his better efforts there. Again, Willie Miller shouting instructions to his players. So just under 3 minutes of this first half left. Rangers leading by a goal to nil. John Brown was under a bit of pressure there. It breaks now to Ian Jess. Is he the man that can lift Aberdeen? Well, again, some good defensive work by Ian Ferguson, who's covered a lot of ground here this afternoon. Back inside his own 6-yard area there. The second clear is coming from Richard Gough. It's returned though by Richardson. Cleared there by McPherson. The touchdown from McCoist to Stephen. That's good vision by Trevor Stephen. He spotted McCall in a bit of space there, but he was quickly closed down. Rangers will retain possession. It's John Brown. Trevor Stephen laying it off again. Brown playing it into space there for McCall. And Rangers win the throw-in.
Yeah, I think both managers at half-time will be looking for the defences to tighten up a bit, because it's surprisingly so. I mean, two very strong defences, but they've looked a little bit shaky at times in this first half. But in saying that might be a bit negative saying that, because some of the outfield play has been terrific from both sides.
So it's Aberdeen trying to get forward here. It's cut out by Richard Gough. And again, he and Jess giving him some problems. Jess has battled game late in this first half. This is David Robertson. And the referee shakes his head there, says no foul, as Aberdeen push forward to Stephen Wright. This is Jess. And surrounded by Rangers players. And it was nipped away from him there by Ian Durrant. That's Trevor Stephen. You think about it, Rangers have got over £3 million worth of players on the bench, and Dale Gordon and Mykhaylychenko. It does show you that the strength of the Rangers squad. So we're inside the final minute of this first half. David Robertson for Rangers. The high one aim for Hateley. Intercepted there by McLeish, swept away by Paatelainen, again deep in his own half. This is Richard Gough. Again it's aimed at Hateley. Cleared by McLeish, only as far as McCall. He's blocked there by Richardson. And the ball goes out of play. Now the referee awarding it Aberdeen's way. So just about 15 seconds left according to my stopwatch, as Stephen Wright takes the throw. It's aimed at Jess. He's quickly closed down by Brown. This is Lee Richardson switching it to Winnie. Paatelainen's ahead of him. Person going in there, and Paatelainen. And there goes the half-time whistle. So applause ringing round the stadium from the Rangers fans, Aberdeen fans who are right behind their team. There's the man who put Rangers ahead after 13 minutes after a mistake in defence. Welcome back to Hampden Park. The second half just about to get underway. Referee Douglas Hope just checking his watch, looking up towards the linesman, and it will be Rangers to kick off, defending their 1-goal lead. So 46,000 all-ticket capacity crowd here this afternoon, and certainly the majority, as you would expect, Rangers fans, but Aberdeen have brought down a sizable support, which is on the Jock Stein terracing away to our right. There's an early touch for Jim Bett. He plays it to Richardson. This is Brian Grant. So no changes from Rangers. We have Dale Gordon and Mykhaylychenko on the bench. Aberdeen have already committed Lee Richardson for the injured Roy Aitken. They have Scott Booth as their other substitute. So it's Jim Bett pouncing on the loose ball. Aberdeen will be looking to his experience in this second half to get them back into the game. There's David Winnie providing the cross. It's headed away by John Brown. Richardson's in there for Aberdeen, but the offside flag goes up on the far side. John Love there, the far side linesman from Lanarkshire. McLeish getting in the header there against Hateley. It's returned by McCall, who scored for Rangers after 13 minutes. So Andy Goram confidently striding out of his area. Well, he had a couple of excellent saves in the first half. Well, again, a few mistakes being made in these early stages. A few nerves still being shown. Here's McPherson for Rangers to Ferguson. McPherson again to Trevor Stephen. This is Richard Gough. Richardson running into a bit of trouble there, but Aberdeen survive all right. McLeish playing in his 12th Hampden final this afternoon. 5 of them in the Scottish Cup, for he won on every occasion. But his mind very much on this game. Here come Aberdeen now. Can they get themselves back into things? It's Grant playing it into the middle. He's in there again, and John Brown injured himself there, making the challenge. The ball has gone behind for a goal kick. John Brown taking quite a hefty knock.
Yeah, it was good defending there initially by Richard Gough. Shearer was looking about there at the near post, but it looks here as if John Brown's got a nasty one.
Well, Rangers will be hoping that the player recovers here, but they do have good cover, and that David McPherson could easily move from the right back area to central defence. But they do have the cover, but it really was quite a hefty one he took.
Yeah, I think it looks as if he might have damaged his right knee with that one. It was a brave tackle, as you would expect from John Brown, but doesn't look comfortable at all.
So Walter Smith, the Rangers manager, out there. And there's Alexei Mykhaylychenko, the Ukrainian, who cost Rangers £2.3 million from Sampdoria.
Well, hopefully he'll continue in this game, but as you said, Jerry, they've got David McPherson that they can put into the centre of defence, and probably put Stuart McCall into a defensive role as well. Of course, he's played right back on a few occasions for Rangers this season and played quite well.
So John Brown is back on his feet, and there's no way he'll want to leave the field. He really has picked up an amazing number of medals over the last few years with Rangers. He always seems to be in at the conclusion of championships and cup finals, cup competitions. But, he's back on his feet now. This was Winnie's clearance, nudged on there by Paatelainen. This is Shearer looking for Jess. Jess heading into space there, looking for Paatelainen, but the cover provided by David McPherson. Again, the pass back goal forcing Andy Goram to move it forward quickly, but that could be to Rangers' advantage. It's Ian Durrant switching the play to Ali McCoist. This is Stuart McCall. Trevor Stephen has a bit of space over here on the right. Chest it down. McPherson clipping it forward. Headed away by Gary Smith. Paatelainen got the touch there, but it's Richard Gough stepping in now for Rangers. Giving it away to Jim Bett. It's missed there by Brown. Unfortunately for Rangers, David Robertson had the pace to get back there and deal with Ian Jess. Got a bit of slackness there.
Yeah, I think John Brown maybe just toiling a little bit with that knee injury, but it was good defending by David Robertson. He spotted the through ball from Bett, trying to find Ian Jess, and just tucked in behind John Brown and cleared the danger.
Richard Gough apologising to teammates there, because initially he had given it away. Well, you see Gough is wearing blue bicycle shorts there, and the ruling this season is that these shorts are supposed to be the same colour as the white shorts there, but hasn't been spotted by the referee. But, I think referees have enough to contend with these days, with all the different law changes there have been, to be bothering with something like that. Winnie clips it forward, it's headed away by Brown, only as far as Richardson. Well, Aberdeen really have to do something fairly soon here. Goram's kick. Hateley made a bit of space for himself there. Durrant was quickly closed down though by Brian Grant. Stephen Wright sending a long one forward for Paatelainen. He uses his height and strength here against Gough. It's Shearer playing it through, and good defending by David McPherson, getting in just ahead of Jim Bett to head the ball into the hands of Andy Goram. Jess laying it off to Richardson. Stephen Wright motoring through. It's a disappointing end to it all. The ball drifts out of play for the goal kick. Well, Andy Goram there was Walter Smith's first signing for £1 million from Hibernian. He was ever present last season when he had 20 shutouts. Again, 10 shutouts this season, and very much at the peak of his form.
Yeah, he's had a great season, and as you say, been a terrific signing for Rangers. And personally, I doubt if there's a better goalkeeper in Britain, although Theo Snelders isn't far behind.
Of course, Andy Goram will be a crucial figure for Rangers in the return European tie at Elland Road. But this afternoon, their thoughts are on winning the League Cup, and they get themselves a free kick conceded there by Jess. Foul there on David Robertson.
Well, this often happens when David Robertson's involved, because he's so strong running forward and gets such terrific pace that players often dive in. He just nicks the ball away from him with tremendous pace, and Rangers have now got a free kick.
Well, it's Durrant who sends it in. McPherson's in there. Trevor Stephen just failed to keep that one in play, and it had gone behind for the goal kick. Well, a lot of people expected Trevor Stephen to be on the bench this afternoon because he has battled against injury, but he's certainly come through this so far with flying colours. The free kick goes Rangers' way. And it will be Richard Gough to take it. The Rangers skipper, who recently won his 60th cap against Switzerland. He missed the last game against Portugal though because of suspension. He's got 3 Big Cup winners' medals to his credit so far. So he takes the kick there with the Rangers fans in full voice. David Robertson knocking it forward. And Ferguson laying it off there to McPherson. McCoist up there, and McCoist has been quiet so far, but the minute you say that, he invariably does something. And Ferguson wins the corner there.
Yeah, that's good defensive play with David Winnie here. Ian Ferguson, strong, powerful runner, but not quick enough to get past David Winnie in that situation.
David McPherson has moved forward, so too has Richard Gough. But Durrant plays a short one to Trevor Stephen. Stephen again. Well, McPherson seemed to be nudged there. Paatelainen it was who was involved, and it was Paatelainen who got the ball clear. Rangers have it again. It's McCall playing it through to McPherson. This is McCoist. And the offside flag is up on this near side. So the free kick to Aberdeen. Well, David McPherson found himself a bit of space initially, but Rangers couldn't capitalise, and the offside flag was raised.
Just when you think Rangers had started the second half a bit flat, suddenly coming back into the game again. I mean, a crowd of players at the back post here from Trevor Stevens' cross. Well, it was hard enough for us to decide what happened with a video replay, so you can imagine how difficult it was for referee Dougie Hope.
A nice little backward header there again from McPherson, taking the pressure off his defence. Hateley going for it with McLeish. Gary Smith knocks it forward. It's returned there by McPherson. Nice little touch there by Trevor Stephen. He takes the return from McCoist. It's through now for Hateley. It was Stephen Wright coming across, but Gary Smith caught there by McCoist. This is Winnie. Aiming it at Shearer. Now it's Jess. Grant's breaking through on the right side. Stephen Wright is galloping forward on his outside, and he's taken out of the play by Stuart McCall. The free kick awarded to Aberdeen. Well, McCall pleading his case, but the referee was well up with the play.
Yeah, it was good positive play by Brian Grant, running at the defence, and Stuart McCall upends them.
So Richardson getting in the cross, and easily taken by Andy Goram. Well, Andy Goram chasing his first League Cup medal. And he sends the ball out of play because Trevor Stephen has taken a knock and requires some treatment. So Dale Gordon is getting ready to come on. There he is wearing number 14. Well, he's only started 4 matches this season, but that's a disappointing sight again for Rangers, and they'll be hoping to have Trevor Stephen fit for the return European tie at Elland Road, but he certainly looks quite distressed there. But Dale Gordon coming into the fray. His last match was towards the end of August in the 4-3 defeat at Dundee, which was Rangers' only defeat so far this season. There's Hateley now for Rangers. And the ball run out of play by Gary Smith. David McPherson it is to take it. And an early touch for Dale Gordon, and he wins the throw-in. That just shows you the strength of the Rangers squad when £1 million players are coming off the bench. But just the 1 goal in it so far. McCall for Rangers after 13 minutes of the first half, and here comes McCall again. Well, the ball taking a bit of a deflection there. McCall, of course, has scored 2 cup final goals at Wembley for Everton, but he ended up in the losing side that day against Liverpool. And they're having another crack at goal there. Good interception by Richard Gough, but runs into trouble there. Down to Richardson, but it's Rangers throw.
I just wonder if that'll upset Rangers' rhythm about Trevor Stephen going off, because he's knocked a lot of very good crosses into the Aberdeen box. But as you say, Jerry, it's not bad when you can look across to the bench and bring on somebody like Dale Gordon.
Well, here comes McCall. He's got Durrant to his outside. This is Durrant trying to take on Brian Grant. He just keeps that one in play. Put back to him by Stephen Wright. Some cool defending there. David Robertson stepping in for Rangers, winning it well. This is McCall. Through to McCoist, who's onside. Robertson providing a cross. Hateley's header! Well, good incisive play by Rangers. Again, it was David Robertson who began it all there with a good challenge.
Yeah, terrific cross again by David Robertson. Mark Hateley does really well to get his head to this one, because the ball was curling away from him. And pretty accurate with it as well, just slid past the post.
There's Paatelainen in there battling for Aberdeen. Breaks to Shearer, now it's Grant. So 60 minutes gone. Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0. And there's Scott Booth, the 20-year-old striker, just getting ready to come on. And manager Willie Miller knows that he really must start pushing more players forward now to get Aberdeen back into this game. Here comes David Winnie. And comfortably handled again by Andy Goram. Hateley and McLeish going for it. Hateley gets the touch. Well, claims for handball against Ali McCoist. The referee waving play on. And that was just inches away. Well, Snelders is incensed there. He's shouting out towards the linesman. The referee telling him to calm down.
Yeah, the Aberdeen defender's very unhappy with this one. It looks as if Ali McCoist has pushed this one down with his arms. Ends up getting a great shot into a very tight angle. You see it once again here. Now, does it come off his arms? Looks like it did to me. But he does really well in this situation. And a good, powerful shot here. Very tight angle.
Well, Ali McCoist coming closer. Meanwhile, Jim Bett has come off, and obviously doesn't have the match fitness after missing 6 games. And Scott Booth coming on. He came on as a substitute last week at Falkirk and scored a goal. Well, I've seen Booth and Jess in action together before, and they can be a formidable partnership. But this is Shearer. Oh, a terrific goal! Duncan Shearer, 62 minutes. Well, he just turned and thundered the ball past the helpless Andy Goram. 62 minutes gone, his 12th goal of the season and his 5th in this cup competition. What a terrific strike by Duncan Shearer.
Yeah, great ball in from David Winnie here. Terrific ball. Shearer just gets in front of Gough. Great control by Shearer in the first touch. Terrific. What a strike. Gave Andy Goram no chance at all. Lovely little first touch here. Just wheels on it and cracks a right foot shot past Andy Goram, which gave him no chance whatsoever. They've got a cracker of a game in their hands now.
Well, Aberdeen right back in this match. And of course, if it's still level after 90 minutes, it goes to half an hour's extra time and penalties if need be, but that should raise the temperature of the game now. Here's the Rangers substitute, Dale Gordon, taking on David Winnie. Dale Gordon doing well, getting in the cross. Ian Durrant struggling there to get to it, and it's cleared, partly cleared by Ian Jess. Picked up now by Stuart McCall for Rangers. And that was Winnie getting his head to the ball. It goes behind for the corner. Yeah, what a marvellous goal that was by Duncan Shearer. But now it's Aberdeen facing pressure again. It was McCoist who hooked in the cross, and Winnie heading it behind for the corner. So John Brown is moving to the edge of the box. McPherson's up there. Gough has remained at the back this time. An indication that Rangers know they have a real challenge in their hands now. That's John Brown's cross up, and the ball tipped over the bar there from McPherson's header. Snelders got the merest touch to it. Rangers have the corner kick.
Yeah, well, it never quite get cleared properly here. Snelders clawing at the ball there, lands to John Brown. Good right-footed cross. David McPherson gets up against the defender here, and Snelders just tips over the crossbar.
McPherson coming close, he's still up there as Ian Durrant prepares to take the corner for Rangers. Well, McPherson in there again, but this time the ball drifts over the crossbar. But he's in a good match, David McPherson, both in an attacking sense and defensively. But Rangers now about to make another substitution. Mykhaylychenko will come on for Richard Gough. Now Richard Gough is obviously struggling with injury, wearing those bicycle shorts this afternoon. Possibly the groin injury, which kept him out for 4 games, is affecting him again. So Mykhaylychenko comes into the fray. Well, he scored against Aberdeen earlier this season in the league match at Ibrox, and he's maybe just the player to lift Rangers again. John Brown moving in there. So David McPherson has moved in alongside John Brown in the centre-back positions. McCall has gone to full-back, and Mykhaylychenko will play in that wide left role. There he is, trying to get himself involved in the match. Well, I think a few dramas to unfold here before the afternoon is over. Rangers have lost their skipper and have lost Trevor Stephen. And this will be a real test now for the Rangers defence, because the likes of Paatelainen there will go in there knocking them about. But this is Durrant for Rangers, laying it off to Robertson. Well, for a long spell, Rangers held the lead, but that marvellous strike by Duncan Shearer bringing Aberdeen right back into the game. And now Rangers having to switch things around, perhaps. The balance is just starting to swing Aberdeen's way. This is McCall now, in his right back row. He plays it to Ian Durrant.
Yeah, I think they were looking for a penalty there, Stuart McCall. He feels that Lee Richardson clipped him in the heels there, but that's been a tremendous jolt to Rangers, that Shearer goal, because really, it has to be said that Duncan Shearer was having something of a quiet game, but both sides will need to watch now with injury problems. Both sides use their substitute, and we may well have extra time yet.
So it's McLeish going for it with Hateley. It goes Hateley's way, switches it to Mykhaylychenko. So he gets a second bite at it. This is Ian Ferguson. McCall. Well, he sees a gap there, and he drives the ball forward. Well, he was right to have a blast, a little opening there for him, and he decided to go for it.
Yeah, he's getting into a few forward positions in this match today, Stuart McCall. Of course, scored the first Rangers goal, then had another shot in the first half that sailed over the bar. Now he's playing in a more defensive role, but still finding time to get up and having a pot at fear Snelders.
A real challenge now, Gordon, for this reconstituted Rangers defence, because you look at the likes of Jess and Booth and Shearer and Paatelainen, all capable of scoring goals.
Yeah, well, certainly with the loss of Richard Gough, I think Aberdeen will be fancying their chances if they can get crosses into the box. But Dave McPherson's no slouch when it comes to that either. And of course, John Brown attacks the ball well defensively, but it's something we'll have to be aware of.
And Aberdeen win the free kick. McCall it was who conceded it, so he's clearly unhappy with the decision. So again, the referee was right up with the play. I don't think Rangers can have any real complaint there. Miller having a quick look at his watch there. Will he leave Hampden after his first final as a manager, as a winner? He won his first League Cup medal at the age of just 21. We're going to take another one away as manager this afternoon. But here come Aberdeen now. It's Winnie sending the ball, and it's headed away by John Brown at full stretch there. This is Ian Jess knocking it back to Grant. And McCall happy to let that go out of play for the throw-in. Dale Gordon to Ian Ferguson. Ferguson running into trouble here. And Scott Booth it was sending the shot over the crossbar. Well, he started just 2 games this season, Scott Booth. The first 2 games of the season. He's had a few appearances on the bench. He had a bit of a chance there.
Yeah, Ian Ferguson getting caught in possession. Finally falls at Scott Booth's foot. They tried to just bend that one with pace past Andy Goram, but over the crossbar.
Well, there's no doubt that Willie Miller must be feeling a much happier man now. All the way from the 13th minute when Stuart McCall put Rangers ahead. He must have been in a sweat, but Duncan Shearer scoring after 62 minutes. So 1 goal apiece here at the National Stadium. And almost 25 minutes of the second half gone. It's McCall for Rangers, the confidence there to take on Paatelainen. Strikes it with his right foot, looking for the head of Hateley. It's knocked down for Ali McCoist, who's had a very lean afternoon so far. This is Mykhaylychenko. Robertson's racing down the left, he knocks it inside to McCoist. McCoist trying to unlock the Aberdeen defence here. He's forced to knock it back to Ian Ferguson. Good crossfield pass to McCall. Plays it now to Dale Gordon. Rangers with plenty of players forward here, and the ball comes off David Winnie and goes behind for the corner to Rangers. Well, that's a signal for McPherson and Brown to move forward. So they've left just 1 player back, Rangers. McCall is going back now to join Robertson as Durrant takes the corner kick. It's Ian Ferguson getting his head to it. It's Durrant again. Just down by McPherson. This is John Brown to Mykhaylychenko. Oh, marvellous save by Theo Snelders. Well, the Dutchman foiling the Ukrainian.
Yeah, the ball comes across here for Ian Durrant. Knocked down, lands at John Brown's feet. He picks out Mykhaylychenko, who finds time and space there at the corner of the box and whacks a great shot. And a magnificent save by Theo Snelders.
So another corner to Rangers. Ian Durrant it is to take it. Dale Gordon getting a little touch there. McPherson's in there. Snelders gets a fist to it. It's Mykhaylychenko. It's headed away by Winnie. Ian Ferguson. And it's well wide of target. But again, there was a chance there for Rangers. Aberdeen not quite clearing the lines effectively.
Yes, all sorts of things happen in this game. The ball at this one. Snelders has got, once again, not a particularly good punch. It lands to McPherson, but young Scott Booth goes out here and closes him down quickly, just enough to put him off having a good strike at goal.
Ian Ferguson had a terrific shot in the first half. You can see him urging on his players. A terrific strike in the first half, which came off the post, but well, not so happy with that particular effort. One of the Aberdeen players on the ground inside the 6-yard area, Paatelainen, the Finnish World Cup striker, who took a knock there as he clashed with David McPherson. Well, he's back on his feet. He's lost twice here at Hampden with Dundee United to Celtic and to Motherwell. We'll be hoping for a happier time this afternoon. Well, I think that's some lucky white heather Willie Miller's got in his lapel there. And possibly a red rose as well. Here's Mykhaylychenko for Rangers. McLeish had to dig in well there. Now it's Richardson stepping away from Ferguson, who's chasing after him. That was good play by Ian Ferguson. Here he is again. It's Dale Gordon. Well, a bit of temper shown by Dale Gordon there after he was challenged by David Winnie. He raised his boot there against the Aberdeen player. A flash of temper from the Rangers substitute.
Yeah, it's got to be said that's been a bit of a lunch here by Davy Winnie, and Dale Gordon reacts badly to it, swings his boot round, appears to catch David Winnie. David Winnie now down in the ground receiving treatment, but it was a rash challenge in the first place.
Possibly he hurt himself in the initial challenge. It was certainly of the rash variety, there's no doubt about that. He took the Rangers player right out of the game, and you see the reaction there, but I think he was hurt by his own challenge. So the game restarts with the throw-in. McCoist sling away there, he does well, he gets it to Dale Gordon. And Gordon knocked off the ball by Gary Smith, the free kick awarded to Rangers. Well, the game finally balanced here. Gordon going on the outside of the defender and just pushed off the ball. So the free kick quickly taken by McCall, looking for McCoist. And Gary Smith it was who knocked it out of play. So the throw to Rangers to be taken by McCall. This is Ian Ferguson. Back it goes to Robertson. Well, that was risky to say the least. But the free kick is awarded to Rangers, but really in a one-to-one, the last man back, and taking on the forward player. He really was risking it here.
Yeah, I think Duncan Shearer had just closed him down that quickly, tries to drag the ball inside him. Duncan Shearer's momentum carries him forward, and it knocks Davy Robertson to the ground.
Walter Smith there, shouting some instructions. Meanwhile, it's Hateley chesting it down, looking for McCoist. Long clearance from Winnie. So 75 minutes played here at Hampden Park. Rangers 1, Aberdeen 1. This is Ian Durrant. It breaks now to Dale Gordon. That was Ian Jess back helping in defence. It's picked up now by Paatelainen. He switches the play to Scott Booth. He finds the other substitute, Richardson. The switch of play now to Stephen Wright. The high win from Wright. It's cut out by McCall. Picked up now by Dale Gordon. This is Ian Durrant firing it forward for Hateley to chase, but that one was just a bit on the ambitious side, and the ball goes out for the throw to Aberdeen. In there at Paatelainen, but it's John Brown who got his head to it. Wright clipping it forward. Paatelainen's in there again. Long ball from Jess, but again it's overhit. Yeah, it was a pity that one was overhit for Aberdeen's point of view, because it
It was a great run forward, but just Ian Jess, it was a disappointing through ball.
So both sets of players will look to keep things as calm as possible here. We're entering a crucial phase of the match. The official attendance just handed to me, 45,298. So here come Rangers. It's played through to Ali McCoist. He's well challenged though by Gary Smith. Nice little turn there by Jess. He's challenged though by Mykhaylychenko. Now it's Robertson breaking forward for Rangers. The fans getting right behind him. A huge roar going up as it's played through to Mykhaylychenko. And it goes behind for the goal kick. Well, he's so quick, this man. He thinks so quickly. He looks a bit lackadaisical at times, but he can make openings out of nothing.
Yeah, once again, it was a terrific run forward by Davy Robertson, and Mykhaylychenko collects the ball on the edge of the box and fires that one just past Theo Snelders' right-hand post. But Davy Robertson's had a magnificent game here this afternoon. He's made one great run after another forward, and of course defended very well indeed as well.
So that's Hampden at its capacity this afternoon, just under 46,000 before the refurbishment starts. The record crowd for this final was back in 1965, an Old Firm match, 107,000. So it's certainly changed days. This will be the last major match here at the National Stadium now for about a year. Well, here come Aberdeen again. It's Ian Jess playing it through to Shearer. This is Paatelainen. He steps away from McCall. It's cut out though by Ian Ferguson. Played through to Ali McCoist. He does well to get away from Gary Smith. Now it's Mykhaylychenko. Durrant. Mykhaylychenko again. Well, that's a good play by Mykhaylychenko. Well, he really is taking a grip of this game. That's his third attempt at goal since coming on, and again some delightful play from him. He was in at the beginning of the move and he linked well there with Ian Durrant.
I think he probably a little bit more time there than he thought. I think he snatched at that one eventually, because it was a lovely little body swerve inside and it threw the Aberdeen defence a bit. He did maybe a little bit of time there to just give that a little bit of a nudge rather than snatch at the shot, which he did.
And McPherson climbing for it. It breaks through to John Brown. This is Robertson. Aimed at the head of Hateley. He gets a little nudge on to McCoist. Here's Durrant. It's Hateley. Rangers pouring players forward here, but Hateley trying to go on the outside of McLeish, and the ball ran behind for the goal kick. Well, Mark Hateley is carrying a bit of an injury at the moment. He's got quite a bad bruise just behind his left leg, and I know he was struggling a bit in the match against Leeds the other night, but possibly still bothering him. But both he and Ali McCoist have a clean picking so far this afternoon. But here's McCoist, and comfortably headed by McLeish.
You just wonder how much that midweek game against Leeds United will take out of Rangers, particularly if they go into extra time. Obviously Aberdeen have had a week to prepare properly for this game. Rangers have not had that luxury.
So McPherson actually gets it under control, leaves it to Durrant. Now it's Ferguson to Mykhaylychenko. Robertson goes off on a run again. And the ball's out of play. So the throw to Aberdeen, quickly taken by Stephen Wright. There he is again to Grant. He's closed down by Ian Durrant. And that's Aberdeen's ball. It's cut out by Mykhaylychenko. Dale Gordon. Well, no problem at all for Theo Snelders. Dale Gordon rather disappointed.
Yeah, I don't think we're too happy with that one. Not one of his better efforts. But in saying that, he never really had much time to control the ball. Had to hit that one quickly because he was getting closed down so quickly with the Aberdeen defence.
So just about 8.5 minutes to go. And they could be heading for another extra time encounter. Of course, these teams went to extra time in 1987. It was the first major final to be decided in penalties. But here come Aberdeen. It's Ian Jess. And it goes high and wide. Of course, these two sides gave us 3 classic finals at that stage.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a chance here for Aberdeen. If he'd maybe nudged it a little bit further forward with his chest there, he never landed a bit close to his feet, which gave Alexei McCaylychenko time to come close him down a little bit, and Ian Jess had to hurry his shot eventually.
Here comes Richardson, who's onside. Robertson now has the pace to challenge him all the way, and the ball's kept in play by Andy Goram. That was excellent defending by Robertson. Richardson had looked as though he'd got away from the defence, looking rather square on that occasion. Something Rangers will have to guard against. But here they come now through McCall to McCoist. McCall again. McCoist leaving it to Dale Gordon. This is Ian Durrant. Ian Ferguson is blocked though by McLeish. John Brown punching the loose ball. It's headed away by Richardson. It's McCall stepping in for Rangers. Well, they get the break of the ball there to Ferguson. That's Mykhaylychenko. This is Ian Durrant. He's got John Brown over to his left. Brown going in the run there, but it's played to Mykhaylychenko. Ali McCoist in there. And the long clearance from Winnie gives the throw in to Rangers.
That was a great bit of defending there by Gary Smith, because Ali McCoist, for about the first time in this match, found a little bit of space inside the box, and Gary Smith made a tremendous block. He's a young player that impresses me more and more every time I see him.
And that's Rangers' throw. But, I think David Winnie will require some treatment here. Involved in a clash there with Dale Gordon.
Actually, they'll be hoping Davy Winnie gets back up in his feet, because we've been mentioning how well Davy Robertson's been playing, but Davy Winnie's had a great game defensively, and of course it was him that knocked in that nice little ball for Duncan Shearer's goal. He's had a really good game at left back for Aberdeen today.
So David Winnie recovers, a player who's been playing Premier League football since the age of 17, and he costed on £265,000 from St Mirren. He certainly played well this afternoon. Meanwhile, Aberdeen have the free kick just outside their area. And Theo Snelders coming out of his area to take it. Well, goalkeepers becoming more and more involved in outfield play nowadays. Although don't mention that to Graham Souness as regards Bruce Grubble up. So there's Winnie getting the touch. It's Richardson switching the play to Stephen Wright. Well cut out by Robertson. It's played forward towards McCoist again. He's policed by Gary Smith. He lays it off though to Ian Durrant. Here's McCoist again. Dale Gordon's breaking at the right. McCoist shot. Oh, that's a marvellous diving save by Snelders, who watched it all the way. Well, Dale Gordon was breaking to the right, but McCoist, well, being the type of striker he is, decided to have a blast.
Yeah, well, every striker, they always fancy their chances. A fair enough effort, but I think you're fully expecting Theo Snelders to save that one.
Nicely done. So here come Rangers again. And it's Dale Gordon. It's a bit of a hash of that one. Richardson plays it through. Trying to find Shearer, but John Brown's got a bit of time. I feel McCoist could have played that ball to Dale Gordon there, but if Ali sees half a chance of a goal, he goes for it. And with his track record, you can't blame him. 25 goals so far this season. So just 4 minutes left here at Hampden Park. Rangers 1, Aberdeen 1. And extra time looming. But the referee is calling over Dale Gordon. And to see the reason why. Disgraceful play there by the Rangers substitute. and called over by Douglas Hope. Well, that's the second time he's reacted in that type of way since he's come onto the field.
Yeah, I think the initial foul was on Ali McCoist here. This looks like a foul to me. Nudges him off the ball, and then, well, this is a bad lunge by Dale Gordon, and fully deserved his booking there.
So the Aberdeen player, Richardson, has recovered. The yellow card has been shown to Dale Gordon. So 3 minutes left. This is Dale Gordon. Well, can he make amends here? He finds Ali McCoist. This is Mykhaylychenko. Ian Ferguson, it's punched away by the goalkeeper. Well, Snelders under real pressure there. But the ball eventually going behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, it was a good patient build-up here. Mykhaylychenko picks it up in the edge of the box. Right foot, good first touch being Ferguson, onto his left foot, and another powerful shot. Eventually lands at his feet again and he balloons it over the bar. But he certainly had one or two impressive strikes in this game, and his shot in the first half, which hit the post, is one of the hardest shots I've seen this season.
It's McPherson's header. Picked up by Gary Smith. So there are 2 minutes left. The decision goes Rangers' way. The free kick. It's Ferguson playing it to Mykhaylychenko. Oh, it's a good ball through to Robertson. Can Rangers snatch it here? And it was Grant sliding in there and sending the ball high over his own crossbar. Ali McCoist was in the thick of it there. So the corner goes to Rangers.
Yeah, it's a great through ball inside. Just maybe takes one touch too many here, David Robertson. Should maybe have delivered that cross earlier.
So in comes the corner kick. It's Paatelainen back helping in defence, and he knocks it out of play for another corner kick to Rangers. Just over a minute left. Snelders commits himself and he handles it well. So we're now inside the final minute. Rangers 1, Aberdeen 1. Aberdeen no breaking through, it's Shearer. And Robertson did just enough there. Eventually it was Brown who cleared it. It's chested down by Hateley to Durrant. And the ball's out of play for the throw to Rangers. And the final seconds ticking away. And extra time looming. As I said, the 1987 final went to extra time. Rangers won on that occasion on penalties 5-3, but here they come. It's Mykhaylychenko, and the ball breaking away from Dale Gordon to go behind for the goal kick to Aberdeen. So the referee has checked his watch. He's looked out towards the linesman. So just seconds remaining here at Hampden Park. Douglas Hope there, just ready to blow the whistle. So we're into time being added on here as McPherson gets in the header for Rangers. Stephen Wright knocks it forward, takes the return. Shearer's in there again, laying it off. And this time it goes behind for the goal kick to Rangers. So both sets of players now will be resigned to another half hour. Andy Goram looking quite relaxed there. And of course he moved from Hibs last year, and they went on to win the League Cup, so he's desperate to win his first Skull Cup medal. Still play goes on, it's Hateley. Durrant's in there. And Paatelainen wins it. But there goes the final whistle. So the full-time score here, Rangers 1, Aberdeen 1. Rejoin us after the break. About to begin, Ali McCoist, you can see, has taken over the captaincy for Rangers in the absence of Richard Gough. McLeish, of course, the Aberdeen skipper. Well, the last thing Rangers would want to do was go to extra time after the exertions against Leeds United in midweek. As Gordon was saying earlier, Aberdeen had the full week to prepare for this game, but both sides have had to commit the substitutes within the normal 90 minutes, and it's going to be a really tiring afternoon for a lot of players out there.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Jerry, I mean, that was a punishing midweek European Cup tie, and if anything, you could possibly favour Aberdeen now in this extra time period, but I think the Rangers supporters will be looking to the fans now to give them a lift and get right behind the team and maybe lift those tired legs.
Well, we've had 129 goals now in this competition, this being the 37th game. Some more drama to unfold, and of course, if necessary, it goes to penalty kicks. So the first period of extra time underway. And here's Gil Gordon for Rangers. Being shadowed all the way by Paatelainen. Good play by Gil Gordon. This is what Rangers want to see from him. We've seen a couple of flashes of temper from him in this match, but certainly some nice play from him there. But now it's Mixer Paatelainen breaking for Aberdeen. Ball's headed away by McPherson. This is McCall. To McCoist. And Rangers happy to accept the throw-in. Well, Rangers were due to beat Aberdeen at Pittodrie yesterday in the championship race. That match had been put back to December 16. Here come Rangers now through Mykhaylychenko. Good running there by David Robertson. And the ball coming off Alec McLeish and going behind for the corner kick. And a huge roar going up from the Rangers fans just behind Theo Snelders' goal. The Rangers fans have the Mount Florida end, the covered end, plus the whole of the north enclosure. So it's Ian Durrant to take the corner kick. David McPherson is inside the 6-yard area. Headed away there by Winnie. This is Durrant. Ali McCoist, nice little turn, and almost finding Hateley. Oh, McCoist and Hateley combining there. A lovely little turn here by the Rangers striker. So the throw in to be taken by David Robertson, who is a long throw expert. Hateley's in there, but well taken by Theo Snelders. Well, despite the loss of that bizarre goal this afternoon, he settled down well. He's had one or two excellent saves. He really was put in an impossible position with the pass back. But meanwhile, the offside flag is up. And Rangers have the free kick, which is quickly taken. It's with Ian Durrant. McCall's breaking in the right. This is Stuart McCall. I don't know what he was trying to achieve there. He certainly had Ian Ferguson inside him, which might have been a better pass, but it always looks easier from up here. It's McPherson's header. Winnie's in there for Aberdeen. Durrant gets it for Rangers. It's laid off by McCoist to Gil Gordon. McCoist again. This is Durrant. McCoist racing through. It's Ian Durrant. Oh, what a marvellous effort. And well saved by Theo Snelders.
Yeah, another great effort here. Ian Durrant switches it from his right foot onto his left. Terrific drive and a terrific save once again with Theo Snelders.
So Brown has come forward to join McPherson and Hateley. McPherson getting it. Brown's in there. And the ball drifting just beyond the post and the crossbar.
Yeah, that was a bit of a chance here, David McPherson. A good leap by David McPherson here, a looping header, and a little bit of a chance for John Brown, but he really couldn't guide the ball towards net.
So again, the Rangers fans in full voice. As John Brown sends it forward, looking for McCoist. And steps Brian Grant. He plays it to Mixer Paatelainen. This is Shearer. McPherson has it for Rangers to Ian Ferguson. Back it goes to Brown. The Rangers content to knock it about at the moment. This is Ferguson to Robertson. Ferguson again. McCaylychenko. Well, he's given it away here to Richardson. Now it's Scott Booth. The Rangers just being a bit over elaborate, but the referee indicates there that the player took a bit of a dive. So that's the first 5 minutes gone in this first half of extra time. David Robertson makes the challenge there. It's getting a bit tough now. And the referee will really have to stamp his authority.
Not really a great deal in that. David Robertson comes in with a strong tackle there. Well, that was followed up by another tackle by Lee Richardson.
So the referee stepping in, calming it all down. And it's John Brown to take this free kick for Rangers. It's aimed at David Robertson. Well, there was a suggestion that an arm was used there by Stephen Wright, but again the referee was well up with the play. This is John Brown. Ian Ferguson finds McCall. Gordon leaving it there to McCoist, and David Winnie reacted well, and the ball goes out for the throw to Rangers. Good defending that by David Winnie. Ian Durrant sends it to McCall, takes the return. It's McCall again. Headed away by Gary Smith. Only as far as Ian Ferguson. That's Mykhaylychenko. Nice little back heel flick. This is Ferguson. Well, I tell you what, he gives Scott Booth a surprise here, and almost surprised here Snelders. He's worked immensely hard this afternoon, as Ian Ferguson.
It was a good bit of play again by Ian Ferguson. This one, he just sort of toe pokes across the Aberdeen goal mouth, but no Rangers player in sight.
Well, the winners this afternoon carry off a cheque for £35,000. The runners up 25,000. Not quite sure that's the last thing in the minds of players out there. It's more about silverware and gold medals. This is Ian Jess, who had a very good first half, but he's tended to be a bit quieter. This is McCall for Rangers to Durrant. This is David Robertson. Mykhaylychenko to his left, but he's been closed down by Stephen Wright. Played through now to Hateley, who's onside, and a good tackle there by McLeish, but the keeper's lifted up the ball, and that will be a free kick surely. Yes, the referee has deemed it's a deliberate pass back. The goalkeeper is arguing that it was a tackle by McLeish, but the intention was obviously to get the ball back to the keeper, and the referee reacted immediately. He's awarded the free kick. One or two Aberdeen players unhappy here, and I think he's going to book the goalkeeper, because Snelders really spoke out quite a bit there. There's Willie Miller looking on, but this is an anxious moment now for Aberdeen.
Well, it was a great tackle in the first instance by Alec McLeish there, but there's no doubt about it. It came off his right foot. Snelders picked the ball up, and now we've got, well, it's just been bedlam in this box here.
It's down to the interpretation of the referee. Was it a deliberate pass back? He has said yes. It's an indirect free kick. Well, a moment of great drama here. It's played to Robertson. And eventually it was Stephen Wright who got it clear. That's Hateley in there now. And again, it's one of those grey areas in the pass-back rule. If the referee deems that it's a deliberate pass-back, you see McLeish sliding in here. Now, is he merely tackling the Rangers player, or is he playing it back to the goalkeeper? The referee has said he's played it back to the keeper. But again, it puts referees under a lot of pressure.
Well, at least they never try to chest that one down to you, Snelders.
But again, we've seen just what the pass-back rule can mean in this particular game. It cost, as Gordon was saying, that cost Aberdeen the opening goal. So that's 10 minutes gone in this first period of extra time. Still 1 goal apiece. It was McCall for Rangers after 13 minutes and Shearer for Aberdeen after 62. And here comes Shearer again. Aberdeen pouring players forward. Good play by Shearer. It was blocked there by McPherson. The shot had gone in from Richardson, and eventually it goes behind for the goal kick. But some excellent play there on the right by Duncan Shearer.
Yeah, and some great play just before that as well, being Jess, a player that's had a very impressive afternoon. But I think Duncan Shearer probably just dwelled a little bit there on his cross, because Paatelainen had made a terrific run to the near post, but he just took that one touch too many.
So the long kick from Goram. Shearer's in there again with Robertson, and the ball goes Aberdeen's way. Good turn there by Scott Booth, but again the pace of Robertson proving quite crucial for Rangers. He got back well there and made a very good tackle indeed. So the throw in to Aberdeen, and Paatelainen, a long throw expert. McLeish has moved onto the 6-yard line. And it's aimed in his direction too far though. It's headed away by McPherson, and Ian Ferguson getting the further touch. This is Stephen Wright running into trouble. It's to Mykhaylychenko. He needs some support here. He does well to hold on to possession. So 3 minutes of this first half of extra time to go as Durrant clips it forward. It's cut out though by Stephen Wright. And Mykhaylychenko left his foot in there and he's injured the Aberdeen player. Well, play going on. Stephen Wright still on the ground. This is Richardson, and he spotted that his teammate is injured and he knocks the ball out of play. Well, it happened there in a clash with Mykhaylychenko.
I don't think there's any question it was a foul, but Dougie Hope waved play on because it was to Aberdeen's advantage. But as we've mentioned, since both substitutes have been used, it's crucial that neither side have any more players go off the field.
So Hampden Park, with this crowd of 45,298, witnessing all the drama of extra time. Well, these sides have provided us with some classics over the years in 1987, 1988 and 1989. But happily for Aberdeen, Stephen Wright appears to have recovered. Of course, both substitutes have been used by both sides, so he'll just really have to get on with it. So McLeish now, a long one forward. It's headed down by John Brown, cut by David Robertson. A long one aimed at McCoist, but the offside flag had gone up. McCoist and Hateley had strayed forward. Gary Smith with the free kick. And that was a crucial challenge there by David McPherson on Scott Booth. So we're inside the final minute of this first half of extra time. Scott Booth has taken a bit of a knock, but he's back on his feet. Meanwhile, play continues with Rangers in possession. It's McCall playing it through to McCoist. And he's fouled there by McLeish. McLeish is furious. It's quickly taken up to Ian Durrant. Mykhaylychenko's in there. It's swept away by Stephen Wright. Well, Rangers took that free kick while McLeish was still complaining bitterly about the decision, and Aberdeen almost paid the price there. It was Durrant who just flicked it into the path of Mykhaylychenko, and Stephen Wright reacted really well. So Rangers have it again. It's Durrant. Nice little turn by Durrant. McCoist was in there, and it's a goal kick. So McCoist feels he perhaps should have done better there. So it's the 15 minutes up as the referee checks his watch and looks over towards the linesman. And there goes the whistle. So still 1 goal apiece here at Hampden Park. Walter Smith there looking rather anxious, but to now prepare for the final 15 minutes of the dramas which have been unfolding here at the National Stadium. Both sides will be given a minute or two to get themselves sorted out.
I think full credit to Rangers, because in that first period of extra time they've looked every bit as fresh as as Aberdeen. But there's nothing in this game at all, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see this go to penalty kicks now.
So it was McCall for Rangers after 13 minutes, Shearer for Aberdeen after 62 minutes, and now it's Rangers who gets this final part of the match underway. Immediately it's played through in the direction of McCoist. Picked up by Richardson for Aberdeen there. There's Robertson, who's had an excellent game, attacking the ball well. But Hateley losing out. Gary Smith playing it forward. It's through now to Ian Durrant for Rangers. One of these surging runs of his, looking for McCoist. But again, Aberdeen stand firm. Again, it was Gary Smith. The Rangers pushing forward now. McPherson shot well wide of target. Rangers showing plenty of determination. Walter Smith looks as if he's out for a Sunday afternoon stroll. But I'm quite sure the nerves are jangling. This is the one trophy that he's still to win as a manager. The Rangers fans trying to lift their team through these final stages. Mykhaylychenko running into trouble. He was lost out there to Grant. This is Ian Jess. And he's tackled there by David Robertson. The throw-in goes Aberdeen's way. Jess in no particular hurry here. It's Richardson playing it to Grant. Grant through to Paatelainen. Promptly gives it away, but it breaks through the offside flag. The offside flag had gone up there against Scott Booth. The flag was raised immediately.
Yeah, I don't think Andy Goram was taking any chances whether it was offside or not. And Scott Booth just goes in front of the defender here, just a touch offside. It's still a good save by Andy Goram, very alert goalkeeping.
Well, Scott Booth, you can see he's still limping. He took a knock towards the end of the first period of extra time. But with both sides committing their substitutes during the 90 minutes, they have to get on with it. Here comes Shearer. And he loses out to John Brown. And still 1 goal apiece here. Gordon playing it through, looking for Hateley. Hateley does well to retain possession. And it's promptly given away. Picked up now by Gary Smith. Ryan Grant sending it forward. And McPherson's in there just ahead of Booth. This is McCall. Well, there's so many tired players out there now. It could be just one mistake that decides this 47th League Cup final. Both of these sides played in the very first final back in 1947. The game won 4-0 by Rangers, but a much tighter affair here this afternoon. There's Mykhaylychenko playing it to McCoist, and it's swept behind by David Winnie for the corner. So nice close play there by Rangers. And David McPherson and John Brown will move forward for the corner kick. David Robertson stays back there with McCall to keep an eye on both. So it's Ian Durrant with the corner. Durrant again, onto his left foot. Headed away there by Paatelainen, back helping in defence. It's picked up now by Ian Ferguson. McPherson to McCall. This is Robertson floating it forward. McCoist getting a little touch. And McLeish got in just ahead of Hateley. McCall for Rangers to Brown, who's quickly closed down. Dale Gordon. And Rangers content to knock it about. This is Ian Durrant. We'll just take on too much there, Ian Durrant. Now a chance for Aberdeen to counter-attack. It's Ian Jess. Challenged there by McCall and Ferguson, but Jess doing well. This is Brian Grant. Stepping away from Mykhaylychenko. Through it goes to Shearer. Well, he had two players in the middle, but he decided to have a blasted goal.
Yeah, I think he'd have been far better off here squaring this one across the goal. I mean, it was a great strike for his goal in the first half, but I mean that one was a little bit on the ambitious side.
You can see him apologising to his teammates there. Paatelainen and both were well forward. So 20 minutes of extra time gone, still 1 goal apiece. McCall, a good ball forward for Hateley to chase. He's in there with Gary Smith. Real tussle going on there, and Hateley is being called over by the referee. The two players got entangled.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question here. A little bit of a tangle here. Matt Hateley tries to rip the shirt off Gary Smith, and that was that was a nasty foul by Matt Hateley, and a well-deserved booking. But Gary Smith is a young player that has played with so much composure in the heart of the Aberdeen defence. I'm quite sure Willie Miller, his manager, is delighted with him. And he might be a player that could fill that Willie Miller role for many years to come for Aberdeen.
Well, just 21 years of age and inheriting, as you say, Willie Miller's number 6 jersey. But there have been, it's not been a dirty game, but there have been one or two nasty incidents in it. There was one involving Dale Gordon, and Mark Hateley just losing the place completely here.
I think Mark Hateley nearly inherited Willie Miller's old jersey there.
But, the youngster seems none the worse after the tussle. He had an excellent semi-final, of course, against Celtic here at the National Stadium. So 4 bookings this afternoon: Gordon and Hateley of Rangers, Richardson and Snelders of Aberdeen. And Ian Durrant now picking up the play for Rangers. He finds McCoist. It's Durrant again. And Dale Gordon just keeping that one in play, and he gets the throw-in out of it. So we're now midway through the second period of extra time. Still 1 goal apiece. John Brown breaking forward from defence. Now it's Durrant. Brown's in there again. Oh, what terrific running by John Brown. But the final effort going wide of target.
Great run forward by John Brown. Knocks a little ball in here at Durrant. Terrific little chip. Finds John Brown again. Oh, that was a great chance for Rangers to seal this game. Lovely little ball in by Durrant. Looks up, but comes off John Brown's shin, way behind the goal. Great opportunity for Rangers to probably snatch the lead and probably the Skull Cup.
Well, it's a second chance that's fallen to John Brown this afternoon. Both have gone wide of target. But he's certainly given terrific commitment, as you would expect. This is Jess now, trying to take on Robertson. Still Jess, getting in the cross and well handled by Andy Goram. He did well to get in that cross, Jess. It's not easy to get away from David Robertson in that type of situation. Here's McCall now for Rangers, to Durrant. Robertson's breaking in the left. He fires in the cross, Hateley's in there, and the ball's in the back of the net. Well, Robertson's cross went right across the defence and landed in the back of the net. Walter Smith is absolutely delighted. It's Rangers 2, Aberdeen 1.
The Robertson cross comes in here, just off the top of Gary Smith's head, and in for an OG here. Good ball in, teasing cross. Oh, that was a tragedy for the Aberdeen defence. The ball comes in.
Just unlucky for the youngster.
Yeah, well, Jerry, we've just been mentioning what a terrific game he's been having. Showed tremendous composure throughout, and a terrible thing like that happened. So unfortunate for the youngster.
Well, his first cup final at Hampden. Meanwhile, McLeish is on the ground. Well, it looked as though Hateley would be the main danger there. It was David Robertson with a terrific run and cross. Hateley certainly caused some panic in the Aberdeen defence, and the ball just taking the merest flick off the defender's head. Meanwhile, McLeish in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, it's a cruel game, as you mentioned. Gary Smith, such a terrific match, then scored a dramatic own goal.
Well, I wonder what he thinks at the moment. You really can't attach any blame to him. He was just so unlucky. It was such an awkward cross. Hateley was coming in beside him. So Aberdeen with it all to do again, and they've got less than 5 minutes to react to that body blow. So really two bizarre goals that Aberdeen have lost this afternoon. The first caused by the pass-back situation, and the second an own goal. There's a certain irony that Aberdeen have scored the best goal of the match, but they're now trailing by 2 goals to 1. The final minutes ticking away. Paatelainen's in there, backline, and Andy Goram has it safely for Rangers.
Well, it'll take a tremendous effort now for Aberdeen to claw their way back into this game, because McLeish has pulled his hamstring and he's virtually a passenger there, the Aberdeen back four.
And that's been the injury which has haunted McLeish for some time now. Of course, such a lot at stake this afternoon, because victory not only brings the cup, but it brings an automatic place in Europe. And for the first time in 16 seasons, this particular year, Aberdeen haven't been on the European stage. And this is certainly a cruel blow for them. So Rangers 2, Aberdeen 1, and just over 12 minutes have gone in this second period of extra time. Just under 3 minutes left. So the high one there from Goram. Played to McLeish, and he's really toiling there. Well, Aberdeen lost Aitken early in the game, then Rangers lost Richard Gough, and with so many games having been played already this season, the players are being forced to come into games like this when they're not maybe 100%, and when a game is played at this type of pace, obviously these injuries will become more and more apparent. We really are asking too much of our players these days to compete at this level and play so many games. And really, when people look back in this final, a lot of will be looked upon because of injuries, because of stress. So Rangers win the throw-in with just under 2 minutes left. Walter Smith there just telling his players to keep it tight. Well, it will take a huge effort from Aberdeen now to get themselves even into the penalty shootout situation. Rangers with plenty of experience. They're just trying to batten down the hatches. There's a long ball well played through to Hateley. Gary Smith losing out to Dale Gordon. Ian Durrant running in support. Can Rangers finish it off with some style? Here's McCall, challenged all the way by Scott Booth. He finds Dale Gordon. So a minute left. Rangers giving the ball away to Paatelainen. It's played through now for Shearer, but John Brown's in there, and he concedes the corner kick. Well, perhaps a last chance for Aberdeen to do something here. Billy Miller is unhappy now.
Well, I think he's every right to be unhappy, because obviously Dougie Hawkes now gave an offside decision against Aberdeen, but it was a good through ball for Paatelainen, and Shearer for me was still onside when he made the run forward.
The referee simply pointed out towards the corner flag, but he saw the linesman's signal. One ball played through now for Hateley. Smith's with him all the way. Good defending by Gary Smith, but there'll be no consoling him tonight.
Well, I don't think he's got anything to be ashamed of today. Just very unfortunate to lose that own goal, and for me he's been one of the star performers at Hampden here this afternoon.
Well, the referee checking his watch and looking at towards the linesman. Willie Miller looking on disconsolately. I remember when Ferguson took over at Aberdeen, his first final was against Rangers and he lost it, but he went on to gain many honours with the club, and Willie Miller has certainly years ahead of him as a manager. He'll learn from this experience this afternoon, but his team very unlucky indeed in the manner in which they lost the killer goal. So we're now into time being added on. The referee again looking out towards his linesman. And there goes the final whistle. Rangers win the Scottish League Cup for the 18th time in their history, for the 8th time in the last 12 years. Jubilation among the players and supporters. You'll be back for the cup presentation. Rejoin us after the break. Afternoon, Rangers having won the Skull League Cup, and for Ali McCoist, a great afternoon. Ali McCoist it was who skippered the Rangers throughout the closing stages, and he picks up his 7th winners' medal this afternoon to equal the record of Davy Cooper, who's here with us at Hampden this afternoon. So the Rangers players taking the salute of their supporters, and it's apt, you know, that Rangers have such a good record in this League Cup competition. It was suggested, after all, by a Rangers director, James Bowie, way back in 1939, and they have dominated it over the years, especially in recent times. It's a terrific record, 8 wins in the last 12 years, Gordon.
Yeah, it is a terrific record, and some great Rangers performances. Davy Roberts there in the picture I thought was absolutely immense at left back. Davy McPherson maybe now beginning to win the Rangers fans over after a sticky time.
Well, Ken McRobb is down there now with Stuart McCall.
Well, congratulations, Stuart. A victory in the Scott Cup final.
Yeah, and fully deserved, I thought. Obviously, we've had a hard game in midweek against Leeds, and going into extra time, probably people didn't fancy us. But the character of the lads were tremendous. It was, you know, we were going forward all the time and had a lot of chances. I thought it was a smashing game again. Credit to Aberdeen for putting up a good performance, but I thought we fully deserved it.
And a goal for yourself, a bonus.
Aye, amazing, eh? Yeah, delighted with that, you know, but I think we'll get his legs up tonight and a wee sing-song and enjoy yourself. Although we've got a lot of important games to come. Lads will thoroughly deserve this, and we're looking forward to enjoying ourselves.
Well done, Stuart.
Cheers,
Thanks very much. Over to Jim White in the studio.
Thanks, Ken. Well, Rangers winners, 2-1. Unfortunate, though. So unfortunate, Charlie, for Smith.
Yeah, I thought he was playing. He had a great game. McCoist, he kept fairly quiet. He had an excellent game, and unfortunately he's just got a deflection off a cross, which was wasn't really going anywhere, to be honest. Just very unfortunate, very unlucky time for Aberdeen.
You took Rangers to win it, Davy, and you were right. Would you say they were worthy winners on the day?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously it's a bad way to win the cup like that with a deflected goal, but in the second half I think out of the two teams you always thought that Rangers were more likely to score, and that's the way it turned out in the end.
Who would you say were the key men then for Walter Smith today, Davy?
I think Durrant again was outstanding. I think as the game went on he became stronger all the time and began to run the game. Very, very good performance by him. And Stuart McCall was very good at the back.
Willie Miller will have learnt a lot today, I think, Charlie. First time as a manager at Hampden, but what can he take out of it?
I think he can get a lot of credit out of this. You know, I think his team performed particularly well at times. The Rangers in a lot of strange positions. So I think he'll got a lot. He got home a lot happier anyway with his team. They've come through it. A lot of his youngsters will stand him a good step for the future anyway. Yeah, great sight at the end. I thought, Charlie, the Aberdeen supporters standing the ground and applauding their side. Yeah, well that's right, because they battled their way back into it. For a spell we thought maybe Rangers were going to win 2 or 3-0. But they came back and the Aberdeen supporters have responded. Thanks, Charlie. Jerry, cup presentation.
And Richard Gough, who had to go off because of injury, leading his men forward, accepting the Skull Cup there for Mr John Mackenzie, the managing director of Valor Breweries. And Richard Gough for the second time as captain lifts the cup aloft. Andy Goram there celebrating as well. Richard Gough now picking up the League Cup itself. And jubilation among the Rangers players, and that's a place in Europe guaranteed next season. But Ken McRobb will be having a word shortly with Walter Smith. Meanwhile, the celebrations go on among the Rangers players. Dale Gordon, the substitute there, picking up the medal. Well, he didn't think he'd be involved today, but because of various injuries, especially to Peter Houstra, allowed him to come in. David Robertson there, who had a marvellous game, and it was his cross that led to the winning goal. And another very solid performance from Ian Ferguson, who's right back to his best form. And there's one man who'll enjoy celebrations tonight, Ian Durrant, who has come back to top form. Trevor Stephen, another man who had to go off this afternoon. Rangers, of course, will be worried about these injuries as they build up to the game against Leeds United. But there's Stuart McCall now, the goal scorer. Let's go back now to Jim White in the studio.
Thanks, Jay. Well, it's been some afternoon. I think we've enjoyed it, have we not, Charlie?
I enjoyed the game. I thought it was a great game. It wasn't a classic as the past has been, but it's hard to live up to the games of the past. It was a good game. I enjoyed it. It
was tough to live up to the ones from the past, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Not as many goals, obviously, as the 3 each and the 3-2, but the second half livened up and a very good match. Okay, well, that's about it for this afternoon. Rangers are the new Skull Cup holders after goals from Stuart McCall and an own goal by Gary Smith. Some friends of ours out there, Charlie. But before we go, result from Scotland's World Cup group: Malta 0, Estonia 0. But here at Hampden, the celebrations are still going on. In the meantime, from Davy Cooper, from Charlie Nicholas and myself, goodbye to you.